Hey everybody, and welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're going to try to tackle user interface design,
Oh,
UI design. Something tells me this is a field you've been wanting to learn a little more about.
yeah, I'm interested to hear more.
And lucky for us, RoleCatcher's career platform is absolutely overflowing with information that we can use to guide our deep dive.
It seems like RoleCatcher is a treasure trove of career information. Thousands of career paths.
Totally, totally. But for today, we're going to zero in on their UI design guide. They go really in depth. I mean, we all interact with screens every day, but
Mm.
have you ever stopped and thought about, like, who's the mastermind behind the look and feel of those interfaces?
Right.
The UI designers, they're like the architects of our digital world.
Yeah, and just like a good architect, it goes way beyond just aesthetics, Making things look all sleek and visually appealing is definitely part of the job. But UI designers are responsible for that entire user experience, the layout, the buttons, even the way an app guides you, effortlessly or not so effortlessly sometimes through a task.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So they're like problem solvers then, making sure everything's intuitive and enjoyable to use.
Yeah, exactly. Think about when you're scrolling through your favorite app and everything just makes sense. It's seamless, there's no frustration. That's all thanks to good UI design.
Yeah.
And here's where it gets even more interesting. Rollcatcher was pointing out how often UI designers are tasked with adapting existing interfaces to keep pace with, evolving user needs and technology.
Wow, I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
It's like they're always having to stay one step ahead,
Yeah,
anticipating how people are going to interact with technology in the future.
exactly.
That's going to take some serious foresight.
Absolutely. And now with AI and machine learning and data analytics all being integrated more and more into UI design, things are getting, pretty interesting. Imagine AI being used to personalize content feeds within apps, or even to create more accessible interfaces for users with disabilities. I mean, we're talking like next level user experiences here.
That's wild. So it's like this blend of creativity and having to like constantly stay ahead of the tech curve.
Yeah.
But let's be real for a sec. Every job has its, perks and its downsides.
Right.
So what's the word on the street, according to Rollcatcher?
Well, on the plus side, UI design, it's booming, it's in high demand, and the salaries are often pretty great.
Okay.
And this might interest you. There's huge potential for remote work and freelancing in this field.
Okay, you had me at remote work.
Okay.
But let's not sugarcoat it. Every job has its downsides. What about the challenges? Rollcatcher mentioned a few.
Yeah, so this is a competitive field for sure. Be ready to, you got to bring your A game.
Yeah.
And trends in this field, they change like a chameleon in a paint store.
Right.
Continuous learning is essential. You're constantly having to add new tools and techniques.
So a strong portfolio showcasing your skills and a desire to always be learning are key.
Absolutely.
Non-negotiable, I guess.
Yeah, and get this, Rollcatcher, they have over 3,000 career guides on their platform and something like 14,000 online resources available. It just shows how much is out there, how much support there is for aspiring designers.
Wow, that is a goldmine of information.
Yeah.
So let's say, hypothetically, someone wants to take the plunge into the world of UI design.
Hmm.
What does a typical career trajectory look like?
Well, Rollcatcher breaks it down into 4 main stages. You've got entry-level, junior, mid-level, and senior.
Okay, 4 stages, kind of like a video game, right? Like you level up to the next stage of UI design.
Yeah.
But seriously, what do those stages actually look like in the real world?
Well, you're in luck because Rollcatcher actually gives us a sneak peek with what they call example profiles. So starting at entry level, picture yourself as the eager apprentice. You're learning the ropes from more seasoned designers. You might be assisting with layouts and graphics or even just soaking up the energy in brainstorming sessions. It's all about building those foundational skills.
Ah, the good old days. Absorbing knowledge like a sponge.
What happens when you level up to junior designer? Do you get to fly solo on projects yet?
Not totally solo, but definitely spreading those wings a bit more. As a junior designer, you'll be creating wireframes. Those are like the blueprints for digital interfaces, and mock-ups, which are visual representations of the design.
So you're bringing those initial design concepts to life. Exactly, yeah. This stage is all about transforming those ideas into tangible designs. Plus, you'll be collaborating more with different teams, gathering feedback, and then refining your designs based on that input.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Okay, what about the mid-level designer? What does that stage entail?
At the mid-level, you're kind of like the project captain, you're steering the ship. You might be conducting user research to really understand, like, the target audience, defining design requirements, and even mentoring those junior designers.
Oh, wow. So you were once in their shoes. I can see how that would be super rewarding, taking the reins, using your expertise to guide others. What about that, like, pinnacle, top of the mountain senior designer? What sets them apart?
Think of senior designers like the Jedi Masters of UI. They've seen it all, they've designed it all, and they're there to share their wisdom. They're setting design strategies for entire teams, they're establishing the design principles that shape a company's whole digital presence. Basically, they're constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible in UI.
That's incredibly impressive. But, to get to that Jedi Master level, I imagine it takes some serious dedication and hustle.
Oh yeah, for sure. But RoleCatcher, they provide like this really helpful roadmap for success. They emphasize the importance of what they call showcasing your capabilities at every stage.
Okay, showcasing your capabilities. I like the sound of that. Tell me more.
Basically, it's all about making your talent shine, whether it's through, building a killer online portfolio that really showcases your best work, or even presenting at industry conferences, or just being active in online design communities.
Working, I love it.
Exactly, got a network. And
Yeah.
RoleCatcher really emphasizes the value of like seeking out mentorship opportunities.
Right.
Finding a mentor in the field who can really offer that guidance and support as you're navigating your own career path.
It's like having a UI Yoda to guide you on your journey.
Sure.
But speaking of journeys, I want to hear more about like how RoleCatcher actually goes beyond just giving information. They have these tools to actually help you land your dream UI design job.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just limited to UI design either. Their tools can be really helpful for any job search.
Now you're speaking my language. Let's dive in. What tools are we talking about?
So one of their standout features is something called RoleCatcher.Capture. Remember how we were talking about, the job searching process? It often feels like this juggling act, like a million tabs open, scrolling endlessly.
No, tell me about it. A recipe for a digital meltdown.
Well, say goodbye to the chaos. RoleCatcher.Capture is a browser plugin that basically lets you save jobs from any website with just a couple clicks.
Okay, now that is a game changer. Organization is key in the whole job search jungle.
Absolutely. And speaking of putting your best foot forward, remember how we talked about tailoring your CV or resume to each specific job?
Oh yeah, definitely. Highlighting those relevant skills and experience.
Right. Well, RoleCatcher has this AI-powered CV and resume analysis tool. It's like having a personal career coach in your back pocket. You just upload your CV or resume, and the job description and their AI analyzes the two, sees how well they align, and it even suggests areas for improvement to make your application even stronger.
Wow. It's like having a secret weapon for your job search.
Right. And let's not forget about, like, the dreaded interview process.
Oh yeah.
The stuff of nightmares for some people. But fear not, RoleCatcher to the rescue again. They have this massive library of interview questions.
Hold on. A whole library for interview questions?
Yeah.
Like, are we talking like a physical library with the like dusty old books?
Not quite dusty old books, but yeah. Picture a digital treasure trove of over 120,000 interview questions, each one tailored to specific roles and industries. It's like having a crystal ball that reveals the questions they're going to ask you beforehand.
No more stumbling over those curveball questions.
Exactly. You can go into those interviews feeling like you've aced it, at least in your mind.
Right.
And if you really want to, like, up your game, they even have a premium feature where you can record yourself answering practice questions and then get AI-powered feedback on your delivery, like your content, even your body language.
Okay, that's like next level stuff.
Yeah.
It's like having your own personal interview coach, like analyzing your every move.
Exactly. They've really pulled out all the stops to like empower job seekers, from exploring career paths to crafting that perfect resume and then acing those interviews. They've really kind of transformed that whole job search process.
This has been an awesome deep dive. We went from like unraveling the mysteries behind UI design to like uncovering all these incredible resources that can help you like break into this exciting field.
Yeah, it really just goes to show that knowledge is power, and like platforms like RoleCatcher, they're making that knowledge, accessible and actionable.
Yeah, I totally agree. So for our listener out there, the one who's been like totally glued to this episode, soaking up all this good UI design info, what would you say is like the biggest takeaway from our deep dive today?
I would say like the biggest takeaway is that UI design, It's a field that's, bursting with creativity and innovation,
Hmm.
but it also requires a lot of, adaptability, continuous learning, and a passion for creating those seamless, enjoyable user experiences.
For sure. And you don't have to go it alone. RoleCatcher's got your back. They're like that trusty sidekick, providing the tools, the resources, the guidance to help you land that dream UI design job.
Exactly.
It's been so fun geeking out with you today. But before we wrap up, I'd love to leave our listeners with a little something to ponder, something to like spark the imagination.
Love it. What you got?
All right, so think about a website or an app that you use every single day. Like it could be anything, your go-to social media platform, that news site you just, you check religiously every morning, even just that app that helps you stay organized. Now, put on your UI designer hat for a second and ask yourself, what drives you crazy about it? Is the navigation clunky? Are the buttons in all the wrong places? Could the layout be way more intuitive? Recognizing these pain points, I think that's the first step to becoming like a true UI design rock star.
Yes.
It's all about channeling your inner problem solver and then using your creativity to actually make those improvements.
Such a good point. That ability to analyze, critique, and constantly look for ways to improve, that's what really sets great UI designers apart. It's about always pushing for that, perfect user experience, even in the things we use every day.
Exactly. And on that note, if you're ready to turn your critical eye and your creativity into an awesome career, you know where to go. RoleCatcher, they'll be there to help you every step of the way. Go explore those incredible resources. And who knows, you might just become the next UI design superstar.
Until next time, happy designing.